Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Pandan, and we're here playing Fire Emblem 7 Siblings. Not Fire Emblem 7, Fire Emblem 7 Siblings. This is a ROM hack by WarPath. Last time we fought some zombies, we got introduced to two characters, our Archer Lord and the Pirate with 2 skill, named Scott. So now we're going to do Chapter 1, Help Arrives. So let's see what we have in store. I gotta say, just kind of like closing out my thoughts on the last chapter, I thought it was really cool to like fight zombies in the first chapter. It's pretty unusual. I feel like not a lot of hacks are doing like heavy monster stuff, so I'm curious to see like where this goes. Okay, some map music here in the background. Once we're through the pass in the hill, we'll be there in no time. We'd better hurry. I wonder if our friends saw any of those creatures. I wouldn't be opposed to never seeing one of them again, honestly. Ariana, do you smell smoke? No, wait. Yes, I absolutely do. Oh no, we shouldn't have gone so far. I left Will alone at home. I'm coming, Will. Hold on. Wait, Scott. Such an idiot. Let's see. Alright, boys. If any of them can fight back, kill them. Uh-oh. Alright, so... something happened to Will. I don't know who Will is. But, we got some bandits on a map. And we got this guy, the mercenary. Let's see. Bandit. And we're fighting Renee. So this is still very, very early on. I would say that Steel Axe is in Chapter 2, man. That's going to be a little savage. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see. Starting position's not ideal. But let's try this out and see what they do. I'm just going to try and like keep him there and pull this guy in. Actually, let's get in the forest. Let's see how this works. It's going to be a little tight. These guys do big damage. It's going to be a little bit of RNG-based difficulty in an open field. I hope we get some help. I'm assuming so. That's the name of the chapter, Help Arrives. Let's see what Scott gets. HP luck. I'll always take that in a pirate. Let's go. Dodge it. Look at that extra avoid he's getting from that luck. Let's go. Scott's just teeing up stuff for Ariana to kill. She's going to do a little bit of a wraparound to get down there and avoid the other brigand. Oh, but we got too many. Scott, I know you're strong, but that's a lot of bandits. Sarah, let's go help. Oh, I'm sure Scott doesn't need my help, but I'll help anyway. Let's see, so we have Sarah, the Pegasus Knight. Yeah, I will say on the mugs, WarPath, I think you just need to shade a little bit more starkly. Like, these are usually, they look like 2 tones shading, and that kind of creates this very, like, heavily saturated and flat look. You want to definitely make sure you're using all 3 tones and that there's enough differentiation between them to see the shading. Like, even Weston like has slightly better shading than the rest, and you can see just like how much more definition it looks like his hair has. The trim needs a bit of work, of course, but I mean, hey, these are early concepts. Like, I'm not going to beat you up over them. Let's see, but he's a sword cav who can also use lances, so you want to be careful about that. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Oh, I guess it is intentional. Unless it's not supposed to say that either. But he's got a sword and a lance. Okay, so maybe he's not supposed to be a sword cav. Or maybe there's like sword calves and that use swords and lances, and then axe calves that use axes and lances. That could be an interesting way to do it, but we'll see. And the Pegasus Knight, just lances. Okay, so this is helpful. So let's do this with... Actually, before I do that, let's just see their stats real quick. He looks pretty okay. Pretty low stats, I gotta say, overall, but see where that goes. And then Sarah looks probably like the best unit I have so far. 6 defense. Like, she's tied for most bulky with Weston. I think she should probably be a little bit frailer given how much better she is. But especially for level 1, like, she's basically better than Weston across the board. And she's going to be like one of my best units just out of the gate. So I would just be a little mindful of like how you balance those units. But it's early. Like, don't worry about it. Let's see. Ariana gets that kill. I do like this palette a lot. I really like the shade of green that you chose. And I kind of like how the map pressures you to like make a choice and commit to one side or the other, and then like use the other units to tank. So let's see how Weston does here. This looks like just like the standard player palette for the Cavs, which is fine. And then let's see. I gotta get some stuff over to my boy Scott here. So let's do this. Just breaking the game with some killer trade strats right now. Gonna tee that up for either him or Weston, whoever wants it. Yeah. So let's see what happens now. And I can tell too, like, you're definitely gonna want to rework these chapters. Is my guess. Like, I think this one's immediately better because the enemies pursue you. Like, this is what I mean by like a well-intentioned experience. Like, you can do so much with this because like the enemies follow a specific pattern and you have different tools to work with. But how you execute on it. Like, I like the way there's Bandit here that like wraps around and chases after you, which is fine. I like stuff like that. But again, one of my biggest gripes is anti-turtling. What's stopping me from just like huddling up with all of my units? Like, why should I move forward? What's my incentive for moving fast and playing efficiently besides stroking my ego, right? Like, these are things that you want to consider. Strength and luck, I'll take that. HP as well. You know, because it's very easy to... Okay, he's going to dull us. Let's do this with Scott, then. Well, he can just kill him, but let's do this. We'll get up close. And then... we got that. Okay, so now we'll do Weston in the woods here with the sword. And then I'm going to have the boss to Sarah is going to be the move. So let's see. I gotta say, I like the... like, I definitely get like the sort of foreboding feeling about this map because there's all these like ruins and stuff. There's a house up there that I kind of want to go try and visit, so I might do that. Let's see. Bah, it's those D-list mercenaries. Charge them, boys. Huh? What's that growling noise? Oh, what? Okay. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if... is that a range event, WarPath? Because that's pretty neat. Okay, now I need to think a little bit more. That's cool. Let's see. This is a defeat boss map. You're not really doing too much here, but I do want to get the house. And then we'll do this. We'll get Weston up here in the forest. We'll trade this over to Scott so we can heal up. We'll get Weston up here. We'll get Scott down here with the vulnerary. I'm going to pull Ariana in a little bit as well. So this is... I like this. Now that's what I'm talking about, like anti-turtle, like you can get punished. If that's a turn-based event, you get punished. I like that the zombies move randomly. That just feels like very Gaiden. Ooh, a poison axe, man? Savage. Very savage. Not crazy about poison weapons in general, but I think they can be a threat. Not too bad to hear. Let's see, what do we got up here? Nothing. Okay. Don't put houses that don't have any events, please. It's always, people I think always want to check houses. So just be mindful of that. Let's see. Let's do, yeah, one shot with the steel bow. So conversely to what I was saying before about like an intentions experience, it does encourage some experimentation. What do I use the blue gem on? I think the blue, like with a blue gem this early, like you can really do a lot of stuff. And let's see. Like you can do a lot of stuff with the early blue gem. And so when you think about that, is it too much money to give the player? If you really want to do like the shop in the first chapter, is 5,000 gold all too much, right? I mean, I guess it depends on like when else they're going to get money. As well, just let Scott handle this. But just something to consider, right? I mean, you're the master of your game. You get to pick it out. That's what's fun about this. It's your world. Like Bob Ross says, it's your world. So Weston, I like the use of the forest and kind of like holding up in these spots. I like stuff like that. Again, I wish there was more reason for me to push forward instead of just like kind of farming the reinforcements here. So just I think with reinforcements, consider that like what's the pacing that these reinforcements are? What are they trying to do? Really, are they trying to get me to move slower? Are they trying to get me to move faster? You know, what's their purpose? And if I'm in control of the pace because there's nothing else going on, then I may as well take it slow and farm these guys for all they're worth, right? What's the trade-off here? It's like, what's the meaningful decision? I mean, I could rush for the boss and try and end it, I guess. But free experience, man. These guys aren't that tough. Let's see how she does. Yeah, so like, something to say about that. I do like the reinforcements. I'm really curious about all this monster stuff that's going on with these zombies. So let's see here. With the Iron Axe, break it out. Let's go. Scott's doing massive damage. More damage. Yes, alright, now he's got 6 defense. It's a bulky lad. Let's see. I think Ariana's going to take a hit right here. Or maybe Sarah too. I might actually die because I didn't position this guy as well. Let's see. But he has to walk through the forest, so he might not be able to get to Sarah. But I'm going to heal her up next turn regardless. Let's see. Oh, nope, he's got her. Oh, but thankfully the Poison Axe doesn't do crap, and she's got so much avoid. Okay, this is fine. Totally fine. Alright. Break out the Slim Lance. Would have loved to crit there, but hey, can't win them all. Alright, now Weston's going to take a little bit of poison damage. And then we'll do this. Can he get this? No. But you can get this, I'm sure. Yeah, you got this. Let's go. Hit it. Killer. Steel bow, baby. Let's go. Ariana. Archer Lord. Speed. Love it. Love speed. Then we'll let we'll let Weston get this one, and then we'll move in and heal with Sarah. I think that's got to be a level up for Weston. Yep. Breaking out the sword a little bit, sword game. There we go, that's a level up. I'll take some strength and skill and luck on my cab. Alright, now what do we got here? This is like kind of a pretty atrocious damage output, if we're going to be perfectly honest, on both ends. Let's see, 6 defense, 6 defense. Yeah, this is just, there's bulky dudes. Let's see, how are you doing? 7 damage? Let's try it. Let me pillage in peace, will ya? I'm sure he'll get like a name at some point. But I'm getting like Gaiden vibes from this, and I mean that in a good way. Like this, like the monsters, the generic bandit boss, the open fields. Like I'm getting total Gaiden vibes, and I mean that in like the best way possible. Like don't take that as an insult at all, WarPath. I really like this. Okay, let's see. Let's give this to Sarah. Can she get this? No. Can Weston come in with some solid chip? Weston can just end it. Let's just have Scott do it. Scott trade? There we go. Stupid kids. Aye. Alright, so let's see. What do we got? More bulk. More strength. Let's go. Weapon level increased. Let's go, Scotty boy. Alright. Chapter ends. Will, where are you? Talk to me. Cough, cough. Scott, is that you? Kayla, you're safe, thank goodness. What happened? When did you get back? Where is Will? I was on my way back from delivering healing supplies to the next town when I saw many people screaming and running down the road. I rushed back as fast as I could, but it was too late. The village was in ruins. Where is Will? Did you see him? Watch out for that text skip there. There's a bit of a space before Will. I would say, given the gravity of the scene, I would probably choose sadder music as well, but that's a minor point. I caught a glimpse of him running north, but I couldn't follow. Let's go, then. Scott, get back here. He didn't let me finish. I saw him go, but there were many people here who had suffered injuries from the attack. I couldn't leave them to die, especially with those creatures bearing down. Luckily, no one was killed, but they will have some scars. That likely wouldn't be the case if I'd run off like you tried to now. You need to slow down and use that big brain of yours sometimes, Scott. I'm sorry, Kay. It's just we needed weapons, and Ariana had talked about going to the armory today. Will was so absorbed in his spell books. I figured he would be fine for an hour or so. He's 14 now. But now I feel so responsible. It's okay, Scott. You couldn't have known. And there's no sense in beating yourself up right now. What's important now is that we find Will. Yeah, you're right, Kayla. Especially with those monsters about. Ariana, are you up to come with? Of course, Scott. I also thought Will would be okay, and I want to make sure he's safe. Wes, Sarah, thanks for your assist. I'm not sure there wouldn't have been any casualties without you two. What brings you out this way anyhow? Last I heard, you were both garrisoned closer to the capital now. Alright, we're getting some context here, boys. I love it. We are, but there have been reports of strange attacks in more rural areas. A few units were sent out to assist. Weston heard your town mentioned as one of the areas of interest, so we volunteered. There's a text skip there. I missed the end of that. Make sure you got your A's in there. The report, they were so vague that I thought we were on a wild goose chase, and if nothing else, we'd get to see you and Ariana while on the job. We haven't seen you at all since you were discharged from the service to go home. Yeah, it's been a while. I just couldn't stay with Mom leaving for the capital to get better treatment for her illness. Kayla works real hard, but we needed more money to make ends meet. I needed to be closer to home. I was never cut out for the military anyway, because I'm a pirate. I think me and R are better off as mercenaries, as our own bosses. I'm thankful she came with me to start the company. Yeah, I don't blame you. In any case, seems the reports were no doubt about those creatures. We need to get back to the garrison and report this. But the Code of Frelian soldiers demands that we first help you find William, for justice. Sarah's right, of course we can help you find him. It's probably safer if we all travel together as well. Thanks, guys. From the looks of it, Frelia might need all the help we can get to deal with these creatures. So if we went back to the garrison after you, we may even be able to get the captain to contract us. Alright, to the north we go. Lead the way, Kayla. Alright, so that's chapter 1. So definitely a step up. Way better. I like the concept. It's simple. I like the open field. I like that there are multiple paths the player can choose to take with their units. I like the pressure that gets put on them. I like the way the units come in and reinforce you from the south, and then it gives a little bit more variance to the map. I like that you're using a sword-wielding boss against 2 new lance units you just got, so to encourage you to use them a little bit more. That village in the northwest, though, man, you gotta get rid of that. You gotta get rid of that house. If you're not gonna put an event there, you gotta get rid of it. Otherwise, it's gonna frustrate people. What else can I say? I think story-wise, there really isn't too much I would add. I like that you mentioned like, hey, they were going to the armory today. That might have been good to mention earlier. Like it could have been like a great intro to like establish Scott and Ariana a little bit more up front in the prologue and just be like, they talk a little bit about their mercenary company and what they've been up to and like how today's just like any other day and they're going to the armory and then all of a sudden there's zombies and they have to fight. Like that context would help so much and it's so minimal too. And now like the way you've introduced this, I'm intrigued because you just gave me enough. Like I don't know really where they are. I'm assuming Frelia is a placeholder name for the time being, which is fine. The names of stuff can always be changed. And with that, you have a story, right? There's Scott and Ariana who were former soldiers, and now they're mercenaries because Scott wasn't cut out for the military, and their 2 friends came by to volunteer to help out near where their friends live, which is really nice of them and makes sense. So I think that this chapter does a nice job of establishing the story. The dialogue felt a little rote, and I mean that insofar as that while it does like a decent job of establishing their characters, I mean you could do a lot with very little text. It also feels very like let's dump a little bit of the plot, like let's dump a little bit too much here at times, and that's like a very minor gripe. Like it's more than serviceable, and it's really the first dialogue we see of these characters. So I think it's fine. I mean, I'm curious to go find Will and see what happened to him. I'm curious to kind of see like what's going on a little bit more as we uncover a little bit more about the world. And maybe my previous comments about too much context, it depends on how you want to do the story. Like I'm definitely intrigued. It's in part because I don't know, but also because I want to see what happens next. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I think this was a much better chapter than last time. I'm excited to see what comes next. But overall, more anti-turtle incentives. Why should I go after the boss? Maybe the boss can move. That would be kind of cool. That would add a lot of pressure to the map, especially like the reinforcements come and the boss moves at the same turn. Now we got a chapter, guys. Now we're cooking with gas. Now I have to like make these interesting trade-offs. So it's like, do I farm these guys and just ward off the boss? Maybe if he hit a little bit harder, that would be tougher. I give him a steel sword, lower his defense a little bit so you can do more damage to him up front. Like you got a boss then. And that could be really interesting. Moving bosses, guys, you got to do them. So overall, like a nice first chapter. I can appreciate the sort of crawl approach into the game. Like you're not giving the player too much to do up front, but you're establishing the characters. It reminds me a little bit of like Lin mode, which is fine. Early FE8 is also like, chapter 1, like, you have 4 units, right? Like this is very similar. So curious to see what happens next in chapter 2. But anyway, guys, my name is Pandan. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time for an episode 2, The Youngest. All right, see you then.